Okay, we're rolling. Good morning.
Is that the handle?
Yeah?
Is it showing?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Are you nervous?
Nope.
Alright. What is your full name?
My full name is, well, there's the name that people want me to go, okay, on paper, it's William Robert McMorran. What I go by is Billy McMorran. That's what I go by.
Okay. And what's your date of birth?
Date of birth is March 25th, 1982.
And where are we right now?
Right now, well, we're in Sparks, Nevada. My kitchen, or my dining room.
And what other places have you lived besides Sparks, Nevada? We have time.
Okay, so I was born in Arroyo Grande, California. From there, I moved to Los Angeles. From Los Angeles, I lived, and this was like a month each, and we'll get to it. We'll get.
Did you move north from after LA?
Yeah, we moved north. We moved.
Did you stay with someone? Or...
No, well, we hung out with great grandma, Holcomb, but we didn't live in Concord. We lived in,
I don't know this one.
I don't know that one either.
But Northern California.
In Northern California, and then Atascadero, and then we moved back to Los Angeles. From Los Angeles, we moved to up here to here, Sparks, Nevada. So, when, as a matter of fact, you could say Sparks and Reno interchangeably. They're pretty much the same place. The only thing that's different is the only thing that's different is the border.
The border.
But
they kind of almost run into each other.
It kind of runs into each other, and it isn't really what I meant, but it is close enough.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you graduate from?
Oh,
Oh,
we're not done yet.
oh,
From
well,
Reno, Nevada, or Sparks, whichever one. I moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming,
oh
and then from Cheyenne,
What was in Cheyenne?
nothing really. My dad got a job as a controller, a financial controller, at Cheyenne Outfitters,
a Western wear store.
which was a Western wear store. Yep. And then after about a year, almost to the day, if not to the day, we moved back to Nevada, and
So you
yeah.
spent most of your grown up years in Nevada.
And that was, most of my grown up years was in Nevada.
How old were you when you first moved to Sparks, Reno area?
That was in 1993. So it's whenever.
About 10-ish?
Yeah, that would be right. Yeah. About 10 or 11.
Okay.
And then after Cheyenne, Wyoming,
Back to Reno.
back to Reno.
Hmm.
And is that where you graduated from high school?
Yeah.
What school did you graduate from?
I went to several different schools. So I started off at at Sparks High School, and then we moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and at Cheyenne, Wyoming, they do ninth grade and junior high. So they do seventh, eighth, and ninth grade all in junior high. So I started off at Cary Junior High School. That was in the last half of my ninth grade time period, and then I went to East High School, which was 10th grade, but we went till about halfway through 10th grade, and then I went back to Reno, and I went back to Sparks High School, and then from Sparks High School, I went to Cary Junior High School. I went to from.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I know. From Sparks High School, I went to Galena High School, and that's where I graduated from high school
In the year.
in the year 2000.
And did you do any sports when you were in high school, or any band or anything like that?
Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, I did. Cross country, and I tried track, but so here's the thing about all of these things. I didn't do any of the sports until I was at Galena. So my freshman and sophomore years weren't done with sports. And then when I got to Galena, my junior high and senior year were done with sports, and I don't remember if I tried track out in my junior year, or if I tried track out in my senior year with James. I'm not sure which it was, but at one of those, I did try out for track, and what was
Were there any certain things within track that you did, like any of the certain events that you were more geared towards?
I didn't like track.
Okay, fair enough.
Every time I would ask anyone anything, it was this big fat guy that was the coach, and this was before Tibbetaweza was our coach. So I guess this was my what do you call it? This was my junior year. But yeah, so I got sick of talking to fat people for like there is no reason why I should be.
They weren't running and
Yeah,
doing all that. They didn't know.
Exactly.
And did you do any kind of band or music?
Yeah, I did band and I did ROTC.
And what'd you play in the band?
In band, I started off with alto saxophone, which I still have, my alto sax. But I also, when I moved to Galena High School, I changed to do both baritone sax and sometimes alto.
What made you want to switch to the baritone sax?
Frankly, just because they needed it.
Huh.
That was about it. Yeah.
So what did you do after high school?
You mean as far as instruments are concerned?
No, life. Where did life take you after graduating from high school?
Hey, that's a good question.
Did you start with any college classes at all?
I did do college for a little while. I only did college for either 2 semesters or 3 semesters. I can't remember exactly. And I couldn't tell you really what I was trying to do. Yeah.
You didn't have a direction.
I didn't have a direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Just things like that. So I used that time to join the Navy. And
do you know what year you joined the Navy?
yeah, the day was February 5th, 2002.
Okay.
How did you pick the Navy?
I didn't pick it really I did pick it, but it was either the Navy or the Coast Guard. And the Coast Guard was giving me what do you call it? They gave me a company to it was going to be a company, and I didn't know this, but this is all of the way that all of the militaries
Recruit?
no, this is the way that they all talk about their thing, but the Navy did a really good job of making it feel like it was military.
So you signed up in February, and then what happened from there?
Well, so I went through boot camp, and that's really all there is.
Where'd you go to boot camp?
I went to boot camp in
Was that Chicago?
no, well, yes and no. It wasn't called Chicago. It was called Great Mistakes, Great Lakes,
Oh.
but we called it Great Mistakes, Michigan.
Okay.
And that was it. That was
I remember it was either before you went to boot camp or after you came and visited us all in a Tascadero, and I just remember your hair was blue. That's the big thing I remember
Care
as a
to
little
talk
kid.
about that?
well, before I joined the Navy, I was trying really hard to be a very different person, a very different kind of person, and so blue hair was a part of it, black hair, blonde hair. I thought that different colored hair was going to make things different for me. It didn't. Yeah, it did. It didn't make anything different. And none of the stuff that I was doing, but I was having a good time. I was enjoying myself.
Being young. Yep. So, where were you stationed in the Navy?
So the majority of the time it was San Diego, in San Diego, California. But there was a lot of different places that I went to also. So, like,
What were your favorite places that you were?
well, my favorite places that I went to was
Did you like Japan?
yeah, sure, Japan. Well, the thing is, I'm trying to think of over here in Canada, so I can make my way.
Oh, gotcha.
But yes, Japan is part of it. Japan, in Yokosuka and Sasebo and Okinawa, those were where I went to in Japan. The one that I'm trying to think of is Victoria, not Victoria. Victoria, it was where you go for it. Nanus. Nanus. I would have to have Yeah, if you
We're
could
looking
look
it
it
up.
up. But Nanus, Canada. The Nanus is one of them, and then the other one that it could be,
Nanus Bay.
maybe. How far up is it?
So here's Nanus Bay, and Half Moon Bay's here, Vancouver.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So Nanus, and then Nanus, Canada, and that's one of my favorite places that I've gone. Was Nanus, Canada.
That looks beautiful.
Oh, it is for sure. And then so he said the Japanese places. And then from there was Saipan, Guam. Those were both parts of the. Those were both parts of the. What? It doesn't even matter. But it was part of the same thing. The same island belt, the same island chain. I don't remember what it was called. But and then also where is it?
Did you say Singapore?
Singapore.
What do you like about Singapore?
Everything was there. Everything. And maybe not everything. But for the most part, it was everything. I while I was there, since you were able to be a part of, it's not right.
I totally neglected to ask you something very important. All these places that you went, how did you get there? What vehicle?
Well, so one of the ways that I went to Japan was using a
Submarine?
no.
Oh.
No.
That's what I'm getting at.
Submarine is how I
Okay.
went to all of those places.
Okay.
But I was able to fly to it
You flew to some of those places?
yep.
In
I flew to Japan once.
Okay. In like a Navy plane? Or?
Nope, it was in a American, or I guess it was American. American passport or
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your job on the submarine? What did you do?
I was a submarine torpedo man.
And what does that job entail?
What that job is I was in charge of everything that goes boom. Everything that's supposed to go boom, at least. Everything that goes boom.
What was that?
Everything that's so you have the torpedoes and the tomahawks. Those will blow up other ships or other what do you call it? Other
Submarines, other ships.
other so our tomahawks were for land
Oh, okay.
targets.
Okay.
What am I trying to say though?
Other bases.
There you go.
Okay. And what level did you get to in the Navy?
I was the chief when I got out.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
it like getting to
Well,
that
I did
point?
more than just that though.
Okay.
So I did vertical and horizontal launched tomahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And then vertical torpedoes, or Mark 48, Mark 48 ag caps is what the torpedoes are called. mm, and also we put something that was the same size as a I don't even know how to.
Same size as a refrigerator.
It was half the size of a torpedo, and so, and it was waited for something to come over, and once it came over, it was like, oh, hey, it's time to turn on. So it turn on, and it would go after that contact, but I don't know the name. And then so also I was in charge of 3-inch launcher, which is all of the flares, all of the flares, all of the SSXBTs, all of those, and which SSXBT is more or less a thermometer.
Oh.
But it's very important. It's hard to explain how important They are, but they are very important. And then also we were in charge of the anchor, and then also we were in charge of um, um, like security
Okay.
on the boat, like all the guns and
Yeah.
all that, making sure the people were qualified to use those guns. And
Yeah. Do you feel up to telling us the North Pole story? Or
why don't we wait,
wait on that
if
one?
you don't mind?
I
If
don't
it-
mind.
Like
This is you, so I don't mind.
well, I mean, let's
Pause it.
pause it.
Oh, okay.